Hi everybody, Michelle McClunan, Astrologer and Life Navigator, and I'm bringing you an update for the new moon, which is happening on the 9th or 10th of February, depending on where you live. In South Africa, where I live, it's happening on the 10th of February in the early morning. You can look up where it's happening in your part of the world. New moons are always a time for new beginnings, fresh new starts, creating a new vision for the next month ahead, and planting new seeds for that. And as we approach the moon is in a waning phase. So what happens as we approach the new moon is we're actually letting go, releasing what we don't need. So you could almost see it like you're weeding the garden of anything that's in the way of you actually planting new seeds and new little plants and growing a new life. So as we approach the new moon, just be aware that this is a very, I'm going to call it a very heady, very conceptual, quite stubborn energy that's around. It's the new moon is in the sign of Aquarius, and it's also in a square to the ruler of Aquarius, which is Uranus. So there's a sort of a fixity about this, but there's also an airiness and a headiness. Aquarius is a sign which is beautiful. It's very liberating, and what it does is it allows us to actually get perspective and objectivity on the issues in our lives, to actually stand back and actually see the bigger picture. That's what Aquarius is about. Aquarius is the sign where there are little waves that I'll show on the screen, and a lot of people think that that's water waves, but it's actually not. It's energy waves or sound waves. And so this time of the year, we are feeling a lot of the energy. We're connecting with the energetic world, whether we know it or whether we don't know it. And the challenge with this new moon is because it's actually part of the square with Uranus, there's a lot of sort of unpredictable energy. It's almost a little bit unstable. It's kind of the energy that shakes things up and that sort of comes in and says, okay, what has got to change? So Uranus, that energy is the energy of change. So wherever we're stuck in old patterns, in old thought patterns, in old habits, in relationships that aren't working, jobs that aren't working, situations that aren't working, Uranus will come in if the energy is strong and actually show us exactly where the stagnancy is. It can kind of be a shocking energy for some people. It can be a very unpredictable energy. It can sometimes be a bit harsh because it's very airy. There's a lot of airy energy, which is head energy, thought energy, conceptual energy. So that's on the sort of the difficult side of it. You could see it as the energy of breaking up, breaking down, breaking out, breaking free, breaking through old patterns. So if you can imagine a lightning strike penetrating the earth, breaking up the earth so that you actually expose what's underneath, that's what I see as the energy of this new moon. But also, there's also on the positive side, there is the ability to see our old patterns, to actually get the picture, to see what is holding us back from being truly free, and to actually liberate ourselves from those old patterns. So it's a very strong energy. It's actually Uranus and Aquarius to some degree is the energy of the rebel, the energy of the innovator, the inventor. It represents electrifying change. It helps us to see things from a unique perspective in a completely different way. So I think that if we take time out this new moon to really connect in, to maybe do an artwork, to maybe do a vision board to see what kind of inspires you. It really is a time where we can actually release the self-imposed barriers and those long, old, redundant patterns, which will be shown to us, and connect with a new vision for our lives. How do we want to feel? How do we want to feel this month? How do we want to feel this year? Do we want to feel stuck and stagnant and negative, or do we want to imbue our lives and the lives of those around us with joy and positivity and peace and love? So this new moon is helping us to see things from a higher perspective, to get out of the drama which is around us everywhere we look, the concern, the worry, the anxiety, and to step into a higher place, sort of like an eagle on a tree, looking down and surveying things and knowing exactly where to fly and where to land and what to attend to, as opposed to when you're in the ditches, in the trenches, and you can't see anything. So there's still a lot of intense energy around. There's still a lot of Plutonian energy around. Pluto, as I've mentioned, has moved into the sign of Aquarius. So this new moon is activating that move. It's just amplifying it. And over the next week or so, we have both of the relationship planets, Mars and Venus, moving into a conjunction with Pluto. So that's quite intense energy. It actually intensifies on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day. So it could be beautiful. It could be very intense, very intimate. It could also bring up patterns in the next week. So I think we all just need to be aware of that and soften as much as we can. If we find ourselves slipping into old patterns, it's to realign ourselves and bring ourselves back into what is true and what is real. My partner, John Homewood, and I are starting another Journey to Freedom course, which starts on the 8th of February, which is today. And it starts with a free week called Vision 24. So if you'd like to join us, you can join us for a free Zoom call at 7 p.m. South African time tonight. And it's a 90-minute call. We actually go into what I'm talking about here, and we also explain what the journey for the next week will be. And if you join us for the full journey, we'll explain what that is as well. The Journey to Freedom is really, it's a 13-week journey. It's a deep dive into transformation, into releasing those old redundant patterns, in stepping into a freer version of yourself. And it gives you very valuable tools to navigate the winds of change, which we're experiencing in a very big way in our world. So if you'd like to join us there, the link is below. You go to journeysofawakening.com. Very simple to register. You can join us tonight. If you can't join us tonight, you can get a recording. And then you'll get access to a full week of journaling, 2 meditations, a creative exercise, an affirmation. It's quite a full, beautiful week. And it sets the scene really for the next month, but definitely for the next year, whether or not you join us for the full journey. So please join us for that. I'm also available for readings, and all you need to do there is contact me through my website, and we can set up a reading to see where this very strong Uranian Aquarian energy is playing out in your chart. As Pluto moves into Aquarius, it's going to be here over the next 20 years, and it's a fundamentally big shifting energy. It's an evolutionary shift in human consciousness, which is what we're all going through. And I think we need to be compassionate with each other, and we need to see that everybody's got their own particular thing that they're dealing with, whether it's a health issue, a financial issue, a relationship issue, and to just know that whatever's coming up for us is coming up for a reason. It's not wrong, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's difficult. It's something that we signed up for because this is the time to clear and move into a new dimension, a new frequency. So old frequencies that we've been carrying around for all these years, maybe even for past lives, just aren't fitting with the new light codes and the new light energy that's coming into the planet. So it's for us to actually connect with this new energy and release whatever is actually blocking our light. And this new energy is love. It's the energy of oneness. It's the energy of community. It's the energy of working together as opposed to apart. And if you look in the world, there's a lot of divisionary, divisive energy. So it's up to us to actually find what we need inside us and to ripple that out. That's the Aquarian energy, is to connect with our truth and to ripple that out in an energetic sense to the rest of the world. That's the other part of Aquarius and Uranus. That's the force of change. So this is a time of radical social change. We're seeing huge changes in politics. We're seeing revolutions all over the world, depending on what media you're watching. Huge farmer protests all over Europe because they're being hampered to actually provide food. So they're actually, the truckers and the farmers are are doing really, really big demonstrations to say, no, it's not okay. And this is what this time is. It's up to us, the people, to stand for what we believe is a new earth, a new vision. And how can we, in our unique way, contribute to that? There's a lot of ability here for healing. We've also got Chiron in a very close alignment with the North Node, which is our destiny. So again, that reinforces the theme of bringing sort of our patterns, our wounds, our shadows to the surface so that we can actually heal and move into a new destiny. So it's all kind of saying the same things. Where do we limit ourselves? What are the thought patterns that go around in our minds on a daily basis that limit us? It's a good thing to pause during the day and to say, what am I thinking in this moment? And then to bring ourselves back into alignment. And this is what we go through in great depth in our course, which starts tonight. So I drew a card, and it's a very interesting card because it's Yemoja, the goddess of all that flows. And when I look at the energy of this new moon, there's very little water in terms of the planetary alignments. There's a lot of air, which is kind of blustery air and quite electrifying and quite it's an igniting energy. There's a fair amount of fire, there's a fair amount of earth, but very little water. So for me, to balance this energy, which is not only on the new moon, it's leading up to and after the new moon. It's actually going to get more airy as as Venus and Mars move into Aquarius. The air component is actually going to raise, and it's actually going to get more airy, more heady, more conceptual, more going on out there. So we need to come inside even more. So Yemoja is I am the ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Yemoja represents the creative force of the unconscious, the secret depths that bring the unseen into the physical realm. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. She is the queen of the ocean, the ruler of the subconscious, and the creative force that allows us to translate the ineffable into art. As the mother of all, she is the energy that brings new life into this world. So it's beautiful for a new moon. Yemoja creates a flow where before there was a block or a stagnation in our life force. And that's the energy of this new moon. Where when we feel uninspired or stuck in life or in a creative endeavor, from having a child to writing a book to anything, Yemoja is the feminine essence that sets our energy back in motion. A lot of masculine energy right now, so we need the feminine. As a mermaid, she exists both in the world and also in the unseen depths. She can help us dive down deep into the unconscious or into the collective unconscious and retrieve the hidden secrets or the wise pearls that we need to integrate now for our life to flow again. And that's the action of this Pluto in a conjunction, in a combination with Venus and Mars. Dive deep, see what's underneath, see what the jewels are, see what the issues are. As the queen of the ocean, she baptizes us to start over, to begin again right now, to let everything become brand new, which means to let everything go. Whatever you've done that you feel that you shouldn't have done, can you forgive yourself? Whatever you said that you shouldn't have said or that you feel that you shouldn't have said, can you forgive yourself? Whatever you might be carrying, whether it's resentment from the past, something that is really limiting you in your own energy flow, can you let it go now and move into the new? Can you forgive yourself? The Ho'oponopono meditation is really, really effective for that. You can look that up. She encourages us to use water as a ritual, to send out our offerings to her, to bless our bodies in a warm bath or walk along a body of water and allow its perspective to give us the answer or blessing we seek. She wants to cleanse us of the thoughts that are holding us back. That's all the air. Why do children calm down after a bath? Why do we calm down after a bath or swim? Why do we feel healed and more centered after a long, nice soak? Water is the element that held us in the womb. The return to our first and most primal element, the loss of gravity, the freedom of buoyancy. This allows us to release feelings or thoughts of being trapped or stuck. Yemoja reminds you to use your tail. You are not of this earth, you are of the sea. What do I need to bring from out of the depths into the material world? I think that's very apt for this new moon. Just sink into the vibration, into the beauty, into the softness of water. And that'll actually start to balance this very sort of out there, active, masculine energy that we have around. Take time out to breathe. Take time out to be. Do your meditations. Connect to nature. Swim, bath, be. That'll balance the doing energy. So I think that's about it from me today. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the notification button. And if you'd like to join us for our Vision Week, you can join on the link below, journeysofawakening.com. Thank you so much for listening. Much love. Take care.